Okay, so I want to take just a few minutes and do something that I probably should have done for you guys a few weeks ago. Um, I sent you the announcement about the translation work, the wooden translation and the smooth translation that I'd like for you all to be doing in your progress checks. Um, and I hope that you're doing something similar in your own translation of Genesis 22 right now, because I think that will be beneficial to you because it's going to help to make sure that you understand the Hebrew that you're translating, but that you also understand how what it means, that you're able to translate and that you're able to understand. So if you don't have your Hebrew Bible or your textbook handy, pause the video right now and go get that. We're just going to look at Genesis 22 real quick, and I want to walk through the difference between the wooden translation and the smooth translation, kind of what I'm looking for. So get your books, get your Hebrew Bible, whatever, and turn to Genesis 22, and we're gonna just look at the first two verses and kind of walk through how I want you to translate from a wooden do a wooden translation, and then we'll look at how to make that a smooth translation as well. Okay, so Genesis 22:1 starts off with Vayahi. And it happened, and it was after the things Hadavarim, the things, the these. And I know that sounds very awkward, and it's certainly easier to say these things. And in your smooth translation, that's what I want you to say. But for your wooden translation work, I want to make sure that you're understanding all of these elements. So, and it happened after the things, the these, and God, or the God, if you want to put, but usually when we have Elohim with the definite article, we just translate it God. There's no need to say the God. And God tested Abraham. We have the sign of direct object there. We know that doesn't have any real translation, so it doesn't have a word value for us in English. So, and God tested Abraham, and he said, Vayomer, and he said to him, Abraham, and he said, Hineni, behold me, or here I am. That's fine if you want to translate it that way. Literally, it's behold me, but it carries that connotation of here I am. Okay, so verse 2, and he said, Vayomer again, take now, kach na, the na is now, I pray, whatever. Take now your son, your only, um, whom you love, Isaac. Okay, it's a whole lot easier to say, take now Isaac, your only son, whom you love, and certainly you're more than welcome to do that in your smooth translation. But in the rough translation, in the wooden translation, I would like for you to do something along those lines. Your son, your only, whom you love, Isaac. Okay. Valek laka, go yourself, go you yourself go. If you look at the note 33b in your workbook on the reflexive preposition, uh, we see that's fine. You don't have to say and go to you, go for yourself, you yourself go. That's fine. So you yourself go to the land of Moriah. And don't forget, because you have a construct chain there, Eretz doesn't have the definite article, but Ha-Moriah does have a definite article, even though Moriah is proper noun, it still has a definite article. So you know, in a construct chain, if your absolute has the definite article or is definite because it's a proper noun, then your construct noun is also going to be definite. So, to the land of Moriah, uh, and bring him up there. This is a hifil verb, and so it has that connotation of bring him up rather than to go up. So bring him up there for a burnt offering, la'olah, for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains. And once again, if you look in your textbook, note 34a has this specific phrase, the echad, the word for one, and how you use it in the construct state. So one of the mountains, which I will say, Omar, different than Amar. Remember, this is your first common singular preposition or prefix. Excuse me, first common singular prefix aleph, rather than just the root consonant. So, which I will say to you. Okay, so that's kind of how I want you to be doing your wooden translations, and then obviously you can go back and smooth it out. Go back to Genesis 22:1, and it happened after these things, God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he said, Behold me, or here I am. Verse 2, and he said, Take now your only son whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah, and bring him up there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will say to you. So that's just kind of the idea behind the wooden and smooth translations. The wooden translation, as I've said, lets me know that you know how to translate the Hebrew, that you can translate each element. And then the smooth translation lets me know that you understand the Hebrew. A lot of times we can translate things and get what the Hebrew says, but we don't really get what the Hebrew says. We don't understand it. And so I want to make sure that you guys are not only being able to translate the text, but also being able to understand it. And really, for the purposes of our class, if you had to choose between one or the other, you don't have the time, or you maybe not the inclination to do both, I would much prefer that you do a wooden translation, because right now I'm more interested in knowing that you know how to translate the Hebrew, that you're able to recognize each element and translate it, even if you don't quite understand what the phrase or sentence is saying. Just to let me know that you understand each element, you're aware of the prepositions, you're aware of the prefixes and suffixes and things like that. So do a wooden translation, then smooth it out for each of your assignments from here on out, and really that's probably a good pattern to follow as you work through your own translation work. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email, whatever. I'm here to help. I'm here to see you guys succeed. So I wish you all a great week and best of luck in your Hebrew.